So I've been switching my trade journal videos to a more of a live during my trade and during my context read during the day. Before I was doing after the fact or late at night, and I didn't think that was very effective to kind of capture what I was doing at the time. But I wanted to make another video and go back in hindsight and look and do more of like a trade review and see, because you definitely look at things differently after the fact than when you're doing them live. So see, for example, were my setups valid? Do I feel that any of them were error trades or problems with how I managed the trades? And also if my context read was correct and any other opportunities that I missed. So going to try to do that, and I mean not every day, but whenever I feel like it. So first trade was at 540 and I took a long at 64, and that's right here. And this trade definitely makes sense, expecting the overnight to be taken out, respecting this range here, and we're at this, so we're holding the top side of this, so 540 is right around here. So I expected these tops to go, didn't happen, and I got taken out for a reduced loss on this push down, and I was taken out for small loss, -6, I think it was -6, yeah. Then I tried again, 553 at 57, and so that's this guy right in here, 553. So we got this push down, test back down into the value area below, and a push above, and I'm leaning on this upper side of the structure here. So once we pushed above here, 551, I take it on this small little pullback here at 57. So great entry on this. I like how I took that. And now stop would be down below here at the 49, and looking for these tops first of all to be broken. This weakness here, this weakness here, and we push up. And I believe I was taken out here, so I de-risked into this. It makes sense probably to wait for this to be broken before de-risking, but I don't think that I did. I took that off at 603, which would be right here. So on this little push here, and then we did move all the way up into the 71 area. These are, at this point I definitely would have taken my risk off, so the result would have been the same anyway, because this didn't really get to my target before coming back down, and then before this move down here. So that's okay. I still think that probably waiting for a break of those tops would have been better. So I took a short at 8, and that is way after this entire move up. So I wanted to definitely talk about this. I know Kelly took this and had a real nice trade here, and I was watching this as well, because being that we were still, after the open, holding this bottom side of value here. And let's look at the 15. So on the open, we come down, test these lows here. The only thing that is a little bit, you got to worry, I was a little worried about, is that we could definitely come down and break this overnight high, or this overnight low here, flush this liquidity here, and then we also have all of this space, and we're already trading in yesterday's value. So coming down to test down into this area, it could definitely have happened. So I was a little, I'll just say cautious, but that was more confirmed when the price action that we did see. We came down on large volume here, 630, that was pre-open, and then at the open we have this kind of false break down. We didn't flush, but then we have a strong unfair price and a push up. So at this point, I remember I was really looking for a long trade at this point, somewhere around here, and the issue was for it, the number bars also supported. I had some stuff that I could have leaned on. That's where this large volume was put in at the open, and then this imbalance here. So I remember 47 was a consideration that I was going to enter on this trade, this 47 price. The reason that I didn't, I talked myself out of it because I called it more of a a breakout pullback trade because these bar highs to the left have already been taken out. So that invalidated the trade for me a little bit. But I mean, all of this is weak to the left here, and my expectation is to take out this high and actually trade up into this area at least, and we have higher time frame structure here, all of these highs to go, and then even up into this area. So definitely missed out on the opportunity by being a little risk averse. I could have traded that a little more aggressively, and I missed out on really at least a 30 tick move there. So that's definitely a missed opportunity. Next trade was off of the highs. I remember this trade right at 8 o'clock, and that was I took the 65.20. This is a little bit of an aggressive trade, but the higher time frame supply also supported this trade. So we had this really large volume put in here, and then another high of the day put in, and then the imbalance down here. So I was leaning on volume here. Very high volume you can see coming in here. Push up, new high a day, and then this slam back down. So I'm leaning on this volume above, but also this imbalance, and then being down below this structure. So I preempted it. I took a real aggressive short here at 20 and to fill in this space and come back down. So I think I managed that very well. There's nothing I would do differently on that trade at all. And let's see, then I tried to take a long at 9 o'clock now, and I took a -7 at 9 o'clock. That's right in this area. Here we have pushed down into this structure here to the left, and looking to hold that. Again, we pushed up here. This has all been tested, and so the kind of the same idea that I took on my last trade. So 9 o'clock would be right here. So I took this long up into here, and then I got taken out on this pullback down to here and it broke below these lows is where my stop was. So I got taken out for a -7. I still liked the idea, and we put in this structure again. Couldn't move lower, and so I took my next trade. Was leaning on that same idea. This isn't the best as well, not the best structure as far as definitely have a weak low here, but we had an imbalance push up. So 9.10 I took this trade. Actually I took it on this increase in volume here and this little push up, and we came very close to I was very close to getting taken out here. So it's somewhat lucky that I didn't, because it's easily could have flushed these lows here and either moved lower or moved higher, but I ended up staying in this trade. So now this trade I remember because it comes back down to how did I manage this trade. Volume was getting a little thin. You can see the volume was definitely much lower, so I'm not expecting any kind of large expansion move at this point. So my target on this was this failure right here into this 12 area. So after we moved up here, I was really managing this pretty tightly, and we had this large volume put in here after this imbalance up, expecting these highs to break and grind it up here. So then at that point I de-risked. I wanted to take something off on this trade, and I put my stop into at 96 for a +10. The issue with this trade is that I'm not wrong on this trade yet. So possibly, maybe giving it a little bit more room made more sense, because an expectation that this comes back down even into here, but after this large volume is put in here, if we break down and come all the way back down to the 90 here, I would expect this to come down and then hold this volume. So at that point I am on the wrong side of this trade, and that's why I did try to lock something in 96. Maybe I could say it's just maybe a little unlucky, and I got taken out, right there to the tick before coming up and moving to my target right at 12. So overall, really, great day. I think, so close, right on the edge, and missing that long trade of having a really, really good day. So, the edge is razor thin on mediocre results and just crushing it. So just some more fine tuning, I think. And every day my confidence grows, and I've had some really good weeks lately, and I will just continue to execute my edge. And I know that my wins are going to be my average win is much larger than my about 3R on my losses. So every day I grow with confidence that I can do this and I can do it well, and my context read is generally on the right side. And I just need to trust in myself, trust in my read, and know that I do have an edge, and let the probabilities play out. So that's it for this one.